Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Iron Man 2020, issue number 6 of 6. This is not just the end of an arc or the end of a volume, this is the end of a run. So is Dan Slott going to be able to put all the pieces back together? Well, this is where you start to find out people's superpowers. No, really, I mean it. Let's get talking about all that after we give credit where credit's due. So Dan Slott and Christos Gage did the writing. Art was done by Pete Woods, letters by VC's Joe Caramagna, the cover by Pete Woods, whole bunch of variant covers in here, graphic design by Carlos Lau, and Tom DeFalco, Herb Trimpe, and Barry Windsor-Smith. Special thanks to them. Iron Man was created by Stan Lee, Larry Lieber, Don Heck, and the original armor was drawn by Jack Kirby. So check it out, man. There are a lot of tropes in here, and they're really bad. Wait a second, keep following. All right, bunch of tropes in here. I'm seeing inspiration from the Transformers the movie in here. I mean, like this thing, this big giant monster in here is basically just freaking a giant-sized Optimus Prime screaming, "Till all are one, till all are one, all are one." Like, what are you doing, dude? I know it's not exactly what he's saying, but shh, go with it. I'm like, adding one little word, holy crap, dude. I'm just like, this is really weak. Oh, this is a terrible final issue. And then I'm seeing Wonder Woman tropes in here, and it's like, yeah, man, freaking, the armor was never the God Killer. I am. Like, I just watched that movie a couple of years ago. What are you doing? And then it's like some heroes start showing up, which is good because, world threat, you'd figure we're all going to see the hero. So the heroes show up, but they're not really interacting with anybody. And it's so blatant, like Carol being as bland as possible. Okay, guys, let's go in and kill them. And then Thor's like, yes, Captain Marvel, we will. And they're all saying each other's names. So, yes, Ironheart, we will do such and such. Like, they're saying each other's names like we don't know who these characters are. I'm like, dude, this is so terrible. I'm like, the X-Men somehow don't show up, which doesn't make any sense because this thing is basically the walking analogy of what, like, their future. This is their future. Like a big, gigantic singularity thing, like the Magnus coming up, talking about, we're going to take over the Earth. And they're just like, man, there's the Krakoan, destiny, and we're going to sit this one out. What? So none of it made any sense. Until it all did. Until every single thing made sense. Until things from like the previous volume and technically the one before that, all of them suddenly made sense. Everything made sense. And what's more, Slott was able to make this book in a way that all these other, supporting cast characters can be used again immediately, or they can stay on a shelf indefinitely. Who does that? Who has the ability to pull that off? Like the way that Spider-Man was just put back on the shelf was impressive. This one is even more so. Every single character in this book can just be put up. The only thing that I saw that was a little bit weird was the idea that we know that Hellcat is going to be the love interest for Tony Stark upcoming, right? But here he's still hanging out with Janet Van Dyne, the Wasp, which is like, I don't think that's going to work. But what do I know? What do I know? Okay, real talk, man. The ability to put characters back on the toy shelf, right? Because that's what we're doing here. Everything in the Marvel Universe is a sandbox. People who never created any of these characters are in charge of all these characters, right? It's a big corporate thing now. You're purchasing intellectual property and things that should have gone to the public advocacy a long time ago, the public domain a long time ago, aren't, because I don't know, what are they doing? Greasing palms, little tricks that they're doing, copyright with names. It doesn't make sense, but somehow that's what's happening. Almost all these characters, including Iron Man, should be in the public domain right now, right? Yet, here's this company who's like, you can go ahead and you're going to freelance for us. You're the one, you want to write Iron Man? Okay, you're writing Iron Man. So everything is just like, Kirby left it for the most part, or, whoever, Don Heck left it. And when you're finished playing and doing all the things you want, taking all the toys down from the shelves, just make sure you dust them all off and put them all back right where you found them. And I don't think anybody in the world does that better than Dan Slott. And he also makes it compelling. He makes it believable why all these things would happen. If that's not a superpower, I don't know what is. I'm being real right here. What is controlling the weather better than controlling the narrative? Like, that is crazy how he just did this. And it's like, did he really have all these plans since 2 series prior to this, 2 volumes prior to this? That doesn't make sense. And yet somehow here we are. And Slott's just like, yep, I'm the best. And it's hard to argue. It's hard to argue. This was done so damn well that even the parts that were just silly and some of the parts that were just legitimately stupid all made sense by the end of this. No, Dan Slott's not a human. He's this thing. And just kind of shows up in Rex's house and then moves on. This was a really good book. When you want to talk about sticking an ending to a run, and I'm just like, I don't know, man, these last books, they've been really good. And you start reading something and you're just like, oh my God, this is ending such trash. Oh my God, no, don't end it with trash. I don't know how you're supposed to end it, but wow, how do you do this? And then it's just like, oh, hey, by the way, yoink. And suddenly everything makes sense. All you did was just turn it around. It all makes sense. That's not human. That is inhuman. Terrigen Mist hit Dan Slott because that is inhuman what he just pulled off. I was thoroughly impressed with this. I think that you guys will too. Fantastic way to end an arc. That is how you write a damn comic book. And like a video and watch an ad. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.